few years ago, I decided to do Uber to make some extra cash. I would work after my full-time job, sometimes late into the night. At the time I was 22 and now I am 25 and finally decided to tell the story. That night started as any other. I started a little after 10 p.m. and it was a full moon at that. And you know what is said about full moons. I had 2 quick pickups and drop-offs before it happened. Now working these late shifts, I could not be picky at all with who I picked up. I was usually one of the only drivers working that late, and there were also usually barely any people needing rides. If I was to miss out or not accept a single ride, it would cost me and I would lose out on the money. So, I kind of felt like I was on autopilot when I was doing this. Every time a request would pop up, I would grab it. And only then would I look a bit more into it, like how far was it or what area was I going to be dropping them off at. It really never made any difference because 99% of the time it was just to pick someone up from a club or a bar. A few times it would be someone working at their job. So, when this pickup came through the app, I did the same as every other time, accept it and head that way. It wasn't until, I would say about 15 minutes into the drive over, that it was taking me in a different direction than usual, not towards downtown like normal. So I looked where exactly I was going, and the location was unusual, you can say. It looks like some type of warehouse area from a few quick glances that I pulled up on my phone. It didn't really look like anything was out in that area. I thought it was strange for sure. I was not going to cancel it, I was already pretty close. I pulled up and about now it's pretty late, it was close to 2 a.m. The whole area looks to be abandoned. It is just in an isolated area, not in the normal area for pickups. It actually looks pretty unsafe to be here at night. I was thinking maybe the person's vehicle broke down. But even then, I didn't see anything or anyone. I pulled over to the side of the road and notified the person I was here. Then I waited a while, usually the people are waiting for me. I was just sitting there and never got a response or even saw anyone. Now I am starting to get a bad feeling. So I decided to cancel the pickup and drive away. It definitely sucked driving all the way out there and no one was there. As I started to turn around, a car came out of nowhere with no lights on and pulled right in front of me and turned their high beams on. At first, I thought it was the police, but it was not. Next thing I see is a person get out of the passenger side of the car and run over to my door yelling at me to open it. I froze for a second. Then survival mode came into my mind and threw my car in reverse and started backing up. The guy that was at my door ran back over to the other car and got in. I got to a point where I could turn around and started driving as fast as I could to get out of this area and hopefully lose these guys. Next thing I know is the car is right behind me on my bumper. I really thought they were going to hit me. At the same time, I'm dialing 911 and asking for help. I was able to get through and telling the 911 operator what was happening. She was trying to keep me calm and get what area I was in to send the police. It felt like I was going in circles trying to lose these people. After what felt like forever, as I'm going down this road, there was a police car coming down the road in the opposite direction. I was flashing my headlights at him. The 2 people that were chasing me saw the police and turned their lights off and took off. I pulled up to the officer and told them that that car was chasing me. He told me to stay here, that more police were on the way, that he was going after them. Less than a minute later, 4 more police officers showed up. I explained to them what had happened. And what they said was that they were probably going to try and rob and carjack me, that I was lucky to get away. They heard over the radio that the cop that was chasing the car got away. The police did a report and told me just to be careful. I drove home that night in silence, still trying to make sense of what happened. After this experience, I will not be doing this anymore.